What's up mga kuya? Welcome back to the channel. So gaming smartphones are really good for that one thing they're designed and built for. Gaming. You know, phones like the ROG Phone 5, the Red Magic 6, the Black Shark 4, even the Lenovo Dual Phone 2. And while all of them are great in their own right, I feel like they're a bit too extreme, especially with the added features that should give mobile gamers who don't have these gaming phones, which I think are unnecessary, at least I think so. And these so-called gaming phones cost very many money. Yes, even costing as much as 70,000 pesos. I mean, yeah, they look great, they look cool, but looks and design are subjective. But I feel like their price tag isn't justifiable for what they offer. I mean, yeah, they're great for gaming, they offer great performance. But if you remember from my review of the Samsung Galaxy S21, I'm not mad at its $800 price tag, mainly because it has DeX, which can be a legit desktop replacement just by simply connecting it to a monitor. And of course, as we all know, the so-called gaming smartphones don't really offer that, which is why I think this price isn't justifiable. So to those of you who are looking to buy or are currently planning on buying a gaming smartphone and spend over $500 US or 25,000 Philippine pesos, then welcome to Don't Buy That, Buy This. The Poco X3 Pro, which is the gaming smartphone that you can buy for just a little over $200 or 10,000 Philippine pesos. You know, if you haven't heard of this already. Okay, so as of making this video, you can buy the Poco X3 Pro right now for only $10,990 at Shopee's 5/5 Brands Festival. Use my Shopee affiliate link if you're buying anything at Shopee. So I'm just going to quickly go through the different aspects of the Poco X3 Pro compared to legit gaming phones. So of course, what we're going to focus on is the performance gaming aspect of the Poco X3 Pro, which is insane. But of course, we'll get to that. So starting off with build quality, so you have Corning Gorilla Glass 6 at the front, plastic frame, and a plastic back, which is, for me, I think the only compromise that Poco made here. So even though the frame of the phone is plastic, build quality is solid. Like, there's no creaking, there's no cracking sounds if you try to bend or flex it. And compared to most gaming phones out right now, I think that's the only disadvantage of the Poco X3 Pro, is that the back is plastic, especially this middle part. It's glossy, so it tends to scratch easily. I mean, if you're gonna make the sides here a matte finish, then why not make the entire back a matte finish? So yeah, and one thing I like about the Poco X3 regarding design compared to gaming phones is that it's not too in your face. Like, it's, well, not the most minimalistic thing in the world, but compared to gaming phones, which looks like this, I'd much rather prefer something that's a bit more low-key than that. So yeah, and of course, like with gaming phones, this has a high refresh rate, 120Hz display with a 240Hz sampling rate, and of course, just breezing through the OS is just an overall fluid experience. And no, it doesn't have that 360 500Hz touch sampling rate, but honestly, that's not really something you should be worried about. So in terms of display, this is pretty much on par, I would say, compared to gaming phones. And really, the only aspect of a gaming phone that people don't really pay much attention to, especially gamers, is having a good camera. But in this case, the Poco X3 Pro actually has a respectable and good camera system for a mid-range phone. So again, you have a 48 megapixel sensor on a quad camera setup. You get good detail, respectable dynamic range. And I guess the only thing really that I don't like about the cameras on the Poco X3 Pro is that it tends to overexpose most of the time, and pictures have a yellowish or warm tone to it, which I'm not a fan of. So in terms of the camera, I would say this is pretty much on par with most gaming phones that are out right now. So in terms of battery life, this is pretty much on par with most gaming phones, maybe except the ROG Phone 5. So this has a 5160 mAh battery with 33 watts of fast charging with the charger included in the box. So this is easily a 2-day battery life for most people. But for example, in terms of screen on time, if you're gonna be playing Wild Rift on this all day, then you can expect to get 8 hours of screen on time. So that's just playing Wild Rift 8 hours straight. And expect to kill the battery on this before the end of the day. And in terms of performance, this is just a beast, of course. So Snapdragon 860 with UFS 3.1 storage. So expect performance and upload times to be top notch. And as you can see, I'm playing Genshin Impact right now at the highest settings at 60 FPS, and it's barely stuttering. Like, that's how good of a performer the Snapdragon 860 is. Ow! So I've been running Genshin Impact for quite a while now, and it's not even overheating. Also considering that I am in an air-conditioned room, so your mileage may vary, but I did test Genshin Impact on here 3 hours straight without the AC on, and it didn't get uncomfortably hot, which is very nice, of course. Even playing the more demanding emulator right now in the Play Store, which is Citra, is no problem for this. And of course, the joy of having flagship level performance with a 120Hz display is that you actually get to enjoy games that support 120 FPS, so very nice. So this is Gear Club, and one of the few games in the Play Store right now that actually support running at 120 FPS, and yeah, very nice. Currently we're running at around 100 to 120 FPS, so yeah. And next up we have Dead Trigger 2, which also supports 120 FPS, so yeah, very nice experience. Damn it, it's close. Hold on. I'll get ready for some trouble. So in terms of performance, this is just flagship level, I mean, as you saw. So again, you're able to run Genshin Impact at the highest settings at 60 FPS, you're able to run Citra 120 FPS on games that actually support it. And the last thing, which I guess is the only advantage that gaming phones have over something like the Poco X3 Pro or pretty much any regular phone, is that they have those extra features, those shoulder buttons, additional buttons, and I guess you can say an overall better cooling system. So for example, if you're going to be playing something like PUBG, Genshin Impact, which doesn't have any gamepad support, then just go ahead and buy this, the Thunderobot G50. I already made a review on this, so you can check that out. But basically for around 2,000 pesos, you get a detachable smartphone holder. So for example, in something like PUBG Mobile, then you get to assign the different on-screen controls on the different buttons here on the Thunderobot G50, which is insane, and I guess you could say an unfair advantage for mobile gamers. So if what you're worried about is not having those additional trigger buttons, then yeah, problem solved with this. And yes, you can assign movement and aiming on the thumbstick, so very nice. And if what you want is a cooler running phone, then you can just go ahead and buy something like the Xiaomi Black Shark FunCooler. So basically, it's a smartphone cooler that you can just clip onto the back of your phone, and bam, you now have a cooler running phone. But then again, this doesn't really overheat, so that's not really something you should be worried about. And of course, like with gaming phones, you also get great sounding pair of dual stereo speakers. Again, all this right now for just 10,990, which is insane. I mean, even if you're buying this for the MSRP of 12,990, this is still one hell of a deal for a smartphone with flagship level performance for not a flagship price. So let's say for example that you were originally planning on buying something like the Red Magic 6 for around 36,000 pesos here in the Philippines. You can buy 3 Poco X3s for that price. Like, that's how much money you're saving if you were to buy the Poco X3 Pro. But of course, at the end of the day, it's still your money. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm just simply trying to help you to spend your money wisely and save up. So yeah, hopefully this video was able to help you guys out or enlighten you guys. And if you think that you know someone that can benefit from watching this video, then yeah, feel free to share this to them. And of course, leaving a like is the easiest way to support the channel. And if you like my content, then feel free to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Hopefully we can balance this out to 50-50 soon. As always, stay safe mga kuya. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.